to the arena, well, they need to learn quickly how to survive the bumping, buffeting and barging. If you blink, you could miss it, so keep your eyes glued. We've shimmering, sleek, new, mean machines to rock and roll. And we've new, fancy costumes too. Old problems to conquer, like the house robots. The usual balancing act between success and failure. We've proud pirouetting and niceties. We've pure evil too. And some very good machines letting off steam. Robot Wars New Blood. I'll tell you, it'll set even the firmest of friends against each other.
Welcome the Master of Mayhem, Craig Chung.
Tonight, Robot Wars hails a new breed of terror with the start of a tournament to find the best robotic innovations around. These are robots fresh from the tool sheds, about to enter the war zone for the very first time. Some will take fighting to new extremes. Others will take the next skip home. So, who's up for some new blood? All right then, let the wars begin.
Craig, let me quickly tell you, the ultimate survivor of the New Blood smash and crash, the New Blood final champion, gains direct entry into the next UK Championships, Robot Wars, the 7th Wars. Mind you, there's plenty of slip, twitch, cup and lip.
What's an initiation into the world of robots? 3 robots all together in the first round melees in the war zone. 1 robot has to be knocked out each time. In other words, impress the judges or your history. Here's round 1.
From Lewis in East Sussex, Terror Turtle.
Will this turn turtle or terror pin down opponents?
So, meet John, JJ and Terror Turtle. How would you describe Terror Turtle?
Terror Turtle is like an egg armed with a sledgehammer. He's a bit weak, but if he hits something with this rotating bar, nothing's going to stand in his way.
And the bar spins right round.
The bar spins right round, so there's no way anybody can hit him without encountering the bar at least once.
Well, that's what we're hoping.
That's what I'm hoping.
The wheeled turtle is surrounded by a 360-degree spinning rotor arm with axe heads. The body frame is box section, the sides covered in aluminium plate, but the top is decorative and can be crushed.
From Stoke-on-Trent in Staffordshire, Mute.
Let others talk the talk. Mute can walk the walk.
So, Mute team, this is your first time on Robot Wars.
That's right.
And you're up against a Terror Turtle and Rhubarb.
Yes.
Ridiculous names. Who are you most worried about?
Oh, the spinner.
You are worried about that
yes.
spinner. It's quite hard to get underneath that, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. In a word, what about the flipper that Rhubarb has?
Well, luckily we've got 2.
Oh.
One at the front
Yes.
and one at the rear.
So you should be fine then.
Hopefully, yes.
So odds are you're winning.
Yes.
If only it were that easy.
Wedge shape with front and rear flippers. The armour is polycarbon titanium, very strong design and reliable. But the front flipper opens the wrong way, surely, and they'll have to get in under other robots to be effective.
From Bedfont in Middlesex, Rhubarb.
Could be fruitful, unless rhubarb's a cowardly custard.
OK, so what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses?
OK, our strengths are clearly our laser-etched panels.
Obviously, yes.
We've got a new improved flipper
Yes.
that works now.
Yeah. Weaknesses are the Mute team.
The Mute team, yeah.
Who's going to go out first?
Terror Turtle.
Terror Turtle.
Terror Turtle.
That's who you think's going out first.
Yeah.
OK. But are you nervous? I mean, you know, it's all new. It's new blood.
Always shaky. It's good to be nervous.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes.
OK. So embracing the nerves here, the Rhubarb team.
has a couple of ramming spikes and a pneumatic flipper. Self-rights has a polycarbonate shell on a steel frame, but the wrapping paper design can tear easily and also gets dragged onto spinners.
Roboteers, stand by.
Two teams together then. Rhubarb there on the left-hand side. Joshua Pinto, Lee Simpson and Mark McIntyre. Adam Daniel and Peter Emmett make up the mute team. And the Turtle Power Boys, John and JJ Frizzell. In the arena for the House Robots, Dead Metal and Sir Killalot with the pincer and the lance.
3, 2, 1, 0.
3 robots together, 2 survive this first round melee. Terra Turtle in the middle. The shell is decorative. I've warned you about that. Watch for the flame pits and the spikes and just about anything else. John Frizzell, captain, driver, weapons operator, thinking. Mute has flipped Rhubarb. You can see the floor spinner has been activated. Down comes Rhubarb, straight into Dead Metal. Mute looks very effective, can get up to 15 miles an hour. Is working hard to get in underneath Rhubarb. Rhubarb has a very suspect 3-centimetre ground clearance and is far too high off the arena floor to survive a flipper. Mute chases after Rhubarb, by far the bigger of the machine. Terra Turtle is not self-righted until now. They come down with that mighty spinning rotor arm, not yet really fully working Terra Turtle. And it's between these two, I think, Rhubarb and Mute. Terra Turtle in trouble. You can see there John frantically trying to get some life into the turtle, but I think their arm is impaled over the edge of the arena sidewall. They could well be immobilised, Terra Turtle. The ref bot's having a look. Mute very dangerously near the field. Oh, Mute's got in! Mute has got into the pit. They were by far the best machine in the melee. Now, was Terra Turtle immobilised before Mute went in? They're arguing amongst themselves. Is Terra Turtle immobilised there, stuck on the arena, or did Mute drive in first? Craig, you'll be able to tell us the result.
Terra Turtle was immobilised before Mute went into the pit. So Mute and Rhubarb, they go through.
Now, Turtle team, stop right there. There wasn't much terror involved.
Oh, there's quite a bit for us.
Now, I think they were actually terrified of you, and that's why they went for you.
I think that's right. I think they knew that once the axe got up to speed, it was going to bite quite some big pieces out of them, and they were determined to get us before it did.
And I was so shocked that you were the first ones out, because you were still mobile, really. You were just hooked over the edge.
Well, yes, and in fact, one of them had gone, flipped us back on our feet, so we could actually go. Yes, we were a bit surprised. We'd hoped the judges might notice that we were going back and forth. We even made a point of running back and forth, right, so they might notice us.
Now, JJ, what are you clutching there?
A piece of the other robot.
That you ripped off. Do you collect bits of robots?
This is my first piece I've saved, I think.
Would you like another piece for your collection?
Yes.
Would you like a genuine Matilda horn?
Yes.
Well, then we will present you that with our love. And we'll see you back here soon, yes? Okay, there we go. So the genuine Matilda horn. I risked life and limb.
From Crowborough in East Sussex, Knight Rider.
Looks stealthy, but things can go bump in the night.
Now, Knight Rider team, I believe your weapon is a first for Robot Wars. Tell me about it.
Yes, yeah, we believe it's a first. It's a disemboweler.
Nice.
Basically, what we hope to do is ram the opposition with the spike, and once it's actually, hopefully, if we penetrate the armour of the other side, we can then activate a motor which spins this. These shards will come out and hopefully rip the guts of the other robots apart, and we can pull it out with the spike when we withdraw.
Lovely, yes.
Yep.
Well, Roboters were never known for their charm.
Devastating active spike weapon, then two 750-watt electric motor, ultra-low centre of gravity, 6-wheel driven, lozenge shape, designed to run both ways up.
From Newton Aycliffe in County Durham, Maximus.
Legions of support for this one, they say.
Maximus team, first time's here, new blood, congratulations, good to have you here, but look at this weapon, it's really unusual. It comes out like that, yeah?
Yes.
It's got a spinning disc of doom, which spins at...
We can get it up to 18,000 RPM.
You see, that is phenomenal. Not even hitting a disc goes around that fast, does it?
No, 800 RPM.
You could cause some serious damage. Now, another question, very important. Where's Russell Crowe?
We're only allowed 3 team members, Philippa. Sorry, we had to leave him behind.
Well, quite frankly, one of you two could have swapped. Gutted.
They've come, they've seen, will they conquer up to 50 miles an hour top speeds? Has a flipper that also becomes a front shield when it locks. 18,000 revs per minute, that flywheel spinning disc.
From Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire, Mr. Nasty.
Very powerful, heavy armour, could live up to its name.
Right then, Mr. Nasty team. Actually, you're quite nice, aren't you?
Oh, lovely.
Now, who are you most worried about in this?
In this first battle, we're most worried about Maximus.
OK, who are you going to go for first?
Maximus.
Right. Who do you hope is out first?
Oh, Maximus.
I think we've got the message there.
We're aiming for Max.
I think that's what the Romans used to say.
Has a hardened steel 8-inch long ramming spike, uses cartwheels, projecting both sides of a box-shaped chassis. Construction kept extremely compact to allow for the weight of the armour.
Stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams then. First, Mr. Nasty, Perry Dan and Jack Watkins on the left, Andy Bannerman, Carl Warren and Andrew Newby with Maximus. And Knight Rider, Paul Burridge, Stephen Oakley and Liz Stevens. In the arena for the House Robots, Matilda, with a new toughened tusk. Need any toughening up, Sir Killalot.
3, 2, 1.
Green for go then. One robot will fall at this stage. Very tentative. Mr. Nasty there, gleaming, steely, in on Maximus and pushing back to the arena sidewalk. That was determined. Well, they need to do a little bit more of a roaming around the arena. A roaming? Yeah, OK. Maximus in a little bit of trouble. So will I be with puns like that. Mr. Nasty on the attack, straight onto the angle grinder and over the flame pit. The pit release has been activated. I don't think there's going to be much empire building from the Maximus Gladiator team, do you? The ref bot, a little shove. Mr. Nasty watches on. We've seen nothing of Knight Rider, just at the top of your picture there. Ooh, he needs to avoid Sir Killalot's chomp and get away, but caught Knight Rider. Now the question, who's fallen first? Maximus still active. We can see the flipper moving very, very slowly, but the ref bot making sure and turning away. So is Maximus still okay? And now goes to look at Knight Rider. We learnt all about their gory weaponry, but it's Knight Rider, I think, to fall first. Maximus proved they were still working. Mr. Nasty, we know, are okay, and Knight Rider have gone. Well, that's a surprise to me. They had a very horrible-looking weapon, but they didn't get a chance to use it. And Paul Burridge, Stephen Oakley and Liz Stevens, their dream ends right there. Buckled, bent, and a broken dream. Thrown into the air, off the back of Matilda. She never forgets those she is given a piggyback to. And in she comes. At the controls, Stephen Oakley driving the machine. Paul Burridge at the weaponry. We never saw it, did we? Oh. Well, we see a little glimpse there, but in the claws of Sir Killalot. Just got a little glimpse of Mr. Nasty. I thought Mr. Nasty looked quite good early on. Knight Rider didn't at all. The ultimate winner of the New Blood Championship goes straight into the 7th UK Domestic Series. Sir Killalot, Fancy Dan and showboating nearly went over. And moves away. Smiles all round. Maximus looked the part. Splendid accoutrements, the armour on the side, the horns, if you like, the spikes, but, well, what state will they be in, Maximus, when they continue because they're through to round 2. It was Knight Rider in the middle of the picture there, counted out the first. Ha-ha! Drop zone time! Go on! 4, 2. You're on TV! Oh, I'll tell you what, Owens Matilda comes in. We didn't really like that programme, so he spikes it! From the drop zone came the TV. There the replays. In comes Matilda. Oh, look at that! She obviously thinks there's too many replays on TV. Didn't like the repeats. Cut it out. How can they applaud after all that? Knight Rider gone. Oh, that was splendid.
Knight Rider, they were immobilised first. So Maximus and Mr. Nasty, they go marching on.
Well, significant amounts of damage. In with damage cam there. What happened to the weapon? The first time disemboweler.
It's good for catching televisions.
Is that what you reckon? You're going to get BBC Two on it, are you?
We will now, yeah.
I don't think you will. It didn't disembowel anything, did it? In fact, ironically, you yourselves seem to be disemboweled.
Sorry?
Do you have any comment to make at all in your defence?
Yeah, we lost drive. There you go. On one side.
You lost your minds going in there with that thing.
It's all fun, isn't it?
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Good, so did we. Thank you
made
very
us laugh
much.
as
It was
well.
great fun. We laughed a lot out here.
Confirmation of the 2 robots to fall, Terror Turtle and Knight Rider. Let's see how they line up for round 2. Mute against Mr. Nasty, but first, Rhubarb against Maximus.
Right, Andrew, you sustained a lot of damage, Maximus did anyway, in that last battle.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple of holes in the shell. The other shell got totally bent out of shape. We've managed to put it back into shape, and we're going to go in really strong.
Well, at the moment, you're not working.
Well, we'll get there in the end.
10 out of 10 for fighting talk, though. But you will have it working.
Yes, we will have it working. We will be in the next fight.
OK, fabulous. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the shell to fit onto the chassis because it's completely out of shape.
Oh, no. I'll leave you to it then. And go back and interview the opposition, who are Rhubarb. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Now, you came out of that quite well, didn't you?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah.
Undamaged, as you can see.
Completely in one piece, but you might not be fighting a working robot.
Well, I hope we are.
I think you will be. They're determined to make it work.
Yep.
But have you got the power to flip them out of the arena, say?
Yes, we do. We've got a very fast-acting flipper. It's low pressure, not quite as fast as the high-pressure boys, but it's significantly powerful, so I reckon they'll go flying.
And how many flips do you think you got?
Oh, we got more flips than we'll need in the fight. About 30 or 40.
Oh, so you can relax then.
Yeah.
Be fine.
Well, we are.
Just send them flying, yeah.
Well, the melees were a rude awakening for some of our new boys, but now it's one-on-one. It's round 2.
Rhubarb.
Didn't look comfortable in the first round. See, Joshua Pinto, Lee Simpson and Mark McIntyre.
Maximus.
Andy Bannerman, Carl Warren and Andrew Newby.
Roteers, stand by.
In the arena for the House Robots, we have Shunt. Blades at either end. Mr. Psycho.
3, 2, 1.
Straight knockout now. The winner goes through to the first heat of the New Blood Championship final. Rhubarb in underneath Maximus. Maximus lucky really to survive its first round, we felt. There's the camera on board Shunt. Rhubarb pushing in from behind with the pneumatic flipper. Again levering Maximus up. You're talking lifting 99 kilos. What's Maximus doing here? Well, I don't think in the history of gladiatorial battles they ever sort of pirouetted in the arena of death, did they? Not too sure. In the great Colosseum. Maybe a bit of a hot-footed gladiator once upon a time did a Fred Astaire routine. No, I doubt it. Over on its side. And Maximus, for me, this is a question of time. Rhubarb the stronger. They're just trying to hold on, the Maximus team. They knew they were in peril right from the start. Rhubarb comes in, trying to lift, trying to toss them away and out of the arena. They've had a couple of attempts. Can they get that flipper underneath the side of Maximus and lift? I don't think they're strong enough, to be honest. They've had a couple of efforts now. Down comes Maximus. Great hinged flipper, yawns open. Now they'll have another chance. Go on, Rhubarb, you won't have a better chance than now. Get in and try and flip them out. Not strong enough. Now that could be a telling factor later on. Maximus away to live to fight another day. Veni Vidi Vici. They came, they saw, but Vici non sequitur. Didn't follow that they conquer. They haven't, have they? Schoolboy Latin for you there. Down comes the blade of shunt. Just glancing off Maximus. Not really great. Oh, the great hammer blow came down, though, from Mr. Psycho. That Maximus armour, though, on the front, it's fairly sound to me. So, they have the basis here to build on for the future, and I hope they come back to Robot Wars. Ooh, if there's anything left, Mr. Psycho, be charitable. Oh, look at that, buckling open. The lifting front of the flipper. They're going to get counted out now. That flipper locks to form a strong shield. Was never strong enough in this competition, though. Or at least the engines weren't strong enough. Maximus counted out. Rhubarb through to the New Blood Heat 1 final. Oh, and what's that? Hanging from the drop zone. They've seen it. They know what's going to happen. Go on, Shunt, tee it up. If you don't like the heat, stay out of the kitchen. We're about to turn up the gas. Down comes a cooker onto the Legionnaire's helmet of Maximus. That's strong armour. The cooker's obliterated. Bang and bash. And the old oven was smashed. Pick up the pieces. They're withstanding a heck of a lot out there, you know. It's a shame they weren't more active or aggressive. They'll have learned lessons, Maximus.
The Roman invasion is ended by the Legion of Rhubarb. Rhubarb through to the heat final. Were you lucky to stay in the arena or unlucky to stay in the arena?
Unlucky to stay in the arena.
Especially when the cooker got involved.
Oh, yeah.
Right. New kids on the block. It was more like new kids on the chopping block, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You disappointed?
No.
No. Have you enjoyed your time in the war zone?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Gannon loses. Maximus! Well, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just came out there, flipped him over.
That was the plan.
And the plan was to get him out of the arena, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. We thought we'd get him out, but it didn't happen.
It was a powerful flipper. It was like they were half in and half out, you know.
Well, it's better to be halfway there.
A few tweaks to it. Should get out of the arena next one.
Were you being very gallant there? Because, it looked like you tried to flip them back onto their wheels again at one stage.
We did that once or twice, and then
just tween them with like a cap.
I wanted them out. I wanted them out the arena, but it just wasn't happening.
You're quite nasty, aren't you? You're right into this, aren't you?
I was well up for it.
You love the carnage,
I was up
don't you?
for it. I was up for it.
Bring it on. Let's hear it. Rhubarb!
So Rhubarb through to the Heat 1 final of the New Blood Championship. Next up, Mute and Mr. Nasty.
Right, Mr. Nasty team, just about to go into the arena after this fight that's on now. How do you feel?
Okay, not too bad.
How do you feel about the opposition, Mute?
They've got a lot of thick armour. They've got a flipper on the front, flipper on the back, so they're going to be tough, but hopefully we'll be able to push them.
More weaponry than you, haven't they?
Yeah.
But are you fast enough to get out of the way?
Yeah.
Is
We're
that
pretty
the plan?
zippy.
Push them.
Push them straight across the arena, into Matilda, into the pit, or maybe turn them into a calendar.
Oh. And if all else fails, they can run away because they have got that speed. They're very fast. Can you catch them?
We'll see them wait for them to come to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're going to try and turn you into a colander.
Are they? Well, we got 2 flippers, so we're going to send them out of the arena.
Oh, okay. Can you do that? Have you got the power, really,
Certainly
honestly?
have. Yeah, we've got full pressure flippers.
You're not giving me a bit of that?
No.
Because often people are all mouth when they go in there and all trousers when they come out.
No, wait and see.
Okay.
Flip them out.
All right, I will.
Yeah.
I'll hold you to it. Thank you, good luck.
Bye.
Mr. Nasty.
Don't think we've seen the best out of Mr. Nasty yet. Better to come for Perry Watkins and sons Dan and Jack.
Mute.
Rode itself into the pit last time. Adam and Daniel Emmett need to do a little bit better. Big Adam there on the right.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the house robot, Sergeant Bash getting his flamethrower ready. And Dead Metal prepared to close those pincers. Mr. Nasty on the left-hand side, Mute dodging away. Oh, frontal assault by Mr. Nasty. That's the 8-inch long hardened steel ramming spike. That's good action. Mute flipping Mr. Nasty over. Mr. Nasty perfectly equipped to self-right with the Sreemec into the CPZ. Mr. Nasty, that's a bit dodgy. Back scuttling comes Dead Metal, but too late. Mr. Nasty quick enough to reach top speeds of 9 miles an hour. Mute a lot faster. Pure evil in a box, says the Mr. Nasty team t-shirt. And up they go, and again flipped by Mute. I was a little bit worried that that front flip was the wrong way round earlier on in the show, but Mute is doing very well here. Certainly, I think, the more stylish and controlled of the robots. No great damage caused, but should it go to a judge's decision, they will mark on style, control, damage, and aggression. On at least 3 of those, Mute coming out on top in this opening sortie or two. Mr. Nasty is worried. This is much better control from Adam and Daniel Emmett, the Mute boys, after the rush of blood in the first melee. Sergeant Bash, oh, and the ref bot come head to head. And Sergeant didn't like it. Get out of the way, ref. Referee will have taken note. Oh, Sergeant, you can't do that. Quite right, yellow card, warning. I'd have given them a ref. I'd have banned it. Mute depresses the pit release. Anxious times here for Mr. Nasty. They have not been able to get themselves into this contest. Look at the ref. He's pushing Sergeant Bash out of it. Get away! You shouldn't be out there anyway, Sergeant Bash. It's a real old tussle between the 2 of them. The house robot's having an argument. I love it. Sergeant Bash, look at this. This is great fun. Get away, ref. Go on, put it down the pit. Ref, you've got to come back and have a word. Sergeant, you are well out of line. Back to the ranks. Tear off his stripes. Now, in the contest that we can't concentrate on the contest that matters because the sergeant's chasing the ref. This has never happened before in the history of Robot Wars. Mr. Nasty, all sorts of trouble. I don't think 2 wheels are working at all. It's just spinning around madly. Mute dominant. The sergeant dominant. The ref's in trouble. He's trying to put out the fire. He's put out the sergeant's fire with the extinguisher. That's splendid stuff. The sergeant will have to lick his wounds and go back to the barracks. Mr. Nasty will go back to the drawing board, I think. Mute, though, in underneath once more. Carnage driving Mr. Nasty onto the serrated saw blade of Dead Metal. The sergeant's still out there. Look at the concentration on the face of Adam Emmett. Mr. Nasty dragged by Dead Metal. Pure evil in the box, pure ashes. I think cease will be called. It'll go to a judge's decision, but for me, there can only be one winner, and that will be Mute. Well done to those 2. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Yeah, and Mr. Nasty watches on and gets away. Cease has been called, they're reminded.
Both robots still mobile at the end of that battle. We're going to have to go to the judges while they're making up their minds. Let's review the highlights.
Mute was quicker and more effective, flipping Mr. Nasty. Pushed back by Mr. Nasty, but the weaponry of the Nasty Boy didn't really work for me. Again, another flick by the more controlled and stylish Mute, Mr. Nasty driving itself into trouble. Mute picking up points, all the while damage caused to Mr. Nasty on the flame pit. That has to be Mute for me.
The judges have made the decision. Style, control, damage and aggression. They've gone for Mute! Guys, what do you think of that fight then?
It was a bit dull.
It was so dull, the house robots started fighting amongst themselves.
We lost one side first. So.
Yeah, you seem to have lost a bit of drive there, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're just going round in circles.
Yeah, pretty much.
What was your game plan? Do you think you could take these ones out?
Yeah, we thought we might be able to get him into the pit, possibly.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem to work out in the end.
Just bad luck.
Bad luck, that's what it is. Not bad design or bad engineering or anything like that. No. How about you? How do you feel?
Those robots were particularly mean to me.
They weren't that mean. They could have been a lot worse, I tell you.
Holding me on that flame pit.
Well, you are new blood. I mean, you've seen the robot in competition. What can you do to change it, to make it better?
Well, I think it's fine. I mean, it all held up fine apart from, the drive went, but physically it stayed together okay. It got flipped quite a few times by Mute, and it seemed to stay in one piece. So we'll find out what went wrong and come back.
Okay, good luck, guys. Mr. Nasty!
Won one.
You won one. That was dull, though, wasn't it?
It certainly was, yeah.
Your flipper's quite powerful.
It is.
Is it a flipper or a shover? I'm not quite sure.
It's a flip. We can't get up high enough. There was that lack of grip. We just couldn't get under far enough to get him. Because the aim was to get him out of the arena, which we can do.
Yeah.
But
how powerful is it when you say you can get him out of the arena?
It's full pressure flipper.
All right.
So powerful enough.
You got rhubarb next, and they're quite nasty.
We've already met them earlier on. Yeah. So we got a good flip on them once.
And they're up for it, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
They are up for it. They reckon they can go all the way. They reckon they're going to have
possibility,
you.
Yeah.
They reckon they're going to kick your teeth in.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you think you can have them?
We'll get it fixed. Yeah, we'll get it better for the next one.
All right then. Let's bring it on.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mute!
Robot Wars has seen the fall of Mr. Nasty, then Mute going through along with Rhubarb, and that, of course, is the way it looks for the New Blood Heat 1 final. Well, quite frankly, I'm frightened. This crowd has been merciless so far tonight, but 2 New Blood have met with their approval. So let's see how they've got this far. In the first of our three-way melees, Rhubarb didn't have to do too much. Terror Turtle was Turn Turtle and didn't recover. Mute looked strong, too strong for Rhubarb there. Will that be a telling factor for the final? Mute on the aggressive, but then rather stupidly drove themselves into the pit after Terror Turtle had been immobilised. Mr. Nasty, Knight Rider and Maximus met in the second of our melees. Knight Rider was ineffective, slammed and bashed. Maximus was lucky to survive. Knight Rider found itself on the box. Rhubarb then met the Roman gladiator that was Maximus. Was far too strong for a lucky survivor, but couldn't finish them off. Will that be a telling factor in the heat final? Lack of finishing power. Maximus slammed and bashed by the house robots. Counted out before the drop zone. Mute put paid to Mr. Nasty in the second of our semi-final clashes. For me, this was a controlled and rather elegant performance. Mr. Nasty was full of chase. The sergeant was chasing the referee. Mute and Mr. Nasty developed into a little bit of a kiss chase. But all romances end. The end was nigh for Mr. Nasty on the flame pit. So this is the first of our New Blood Heat finals. Rhubarb against Mute. Mute may be a little bit lucky to get this far. I wonder what you think. I wonder what Derek Foxwell, the senior technical consultant on Robot Wars, thinks. He's joined me again up here in the Crow's Nest. Are you impressed with the New Blood machines? You've seen them before, of course, in the auditions, but actually in there, fighting in the arena.
Yeah, I'm impressed with some of them. I mean, they've got a long way to go to catch up with the All-Stars. They're quite impressive robots, both of them. The driving leaves a little bit to be desired, and people get very nervous in the arena. And for new bloods, there's always a bit of nervousness when they go in. So there may be a bit of hesitancy before they actually start to fight. But I think it'll be a very close match.
Similar weapons here, both of them flippers, Mute's are smaller.
Yeah, I think Mute has probably got the advantage on manoeuvrability, but we'll see how they go.
A Mute final on Robot Wars, what, with this crowd baying? No, I'm going to go for Rhubarb.
Well, they came, they saw, they gave a right good kicking. But who is going all the way as we let the final begin?
Mute.
Still fortunate for me to be here after driving into the pit in the first melee. Adam and Daniel Emmett.
Rhubarb.
Machine of Joshua Pinto, Lee Simpson and Mark McIntyre.
Roboteers, stand by.
And in the arena for the house robots, there's Shunt with the double blades. And he's still a sergeant, Yusa, on the last warning, sir.
3, 2, 1.
Rhubarb on the right, just lifted slightly by Mute, getting underneath that 3-centimetre ground clearance. Now, when I went for Rhubarb to win this, I've got to be honest, I forgot that ground clearance, and Mute has already taken advantage and has got the flipper in. Good self-righting by Rhubarb, using their flipper to self-right, turning away from Mute. Mute in underneath once again. That had to be their game plan. Wasted use there of the hydraulic flipper from Rhubarb. Oh, teetering! Brilliant recovery! That is the finest recovery we have seen on Robot Wars. They're out, they're going out, they're going out. No, they're not, they're bouncing back. That was brilliant. That was like watching a high-wire trapeze artist in the circus. Rhubarb now on the attack of Mute, who springs back. Well, this is balletic stuff so far. Mute being pushed by Rhubarb. Mute on its side. Now, if Rhubarb can actually get Mute on its side, I'm not too sure they'd be able to self-right like they've just done, springing back spectacularly. Let's have another look. Hopping like a rabbit out there, Mute. Brave as a lion, though. Back on the attack again. Rhubarb turning away. This is a very close final. Trying to push the release button. Oh, on the flame. The release button was to spin there, the disc. Can you see it? On the arena centre, spinning away madly to throw one of these robots off course. At the moment, Mute needs to throw Rhubarb somewhere. Taking it to the arena sidewall, towards the Pit of Doom release time. Coming to you, Shunt. I think we've just retired that piece of equipment from the arena. We'll get a new one for you. Rhubarb lifted up on Mute. They peer away from their control pods. The Emmett boys there with Mute. Underneath Rhubarb again. For me, Mute have been the more aggressive machine. Would you agree? It goes to a judge's decision. Certainly, Rhubarb's escape from the high wire was stylish and controlled, but they are sustaining telling damage now, and that could be the turning point of the final. Rhubarb damaged, backing away. You can see there the wound. Mute sensing they have the upper hand now. In underneath Rhubarb. Will they survive this first heat of the New Blood Championship and go on to make the New Blood Final? In comes the Sergeant. There we can see the shunt camera peering into the insides of Rhubarb. I think, you know, that blow that caused the damage to Rhubarb could have made all the difference with the judges, because up to then it was very, very close. Still they're tentative, they manoeuvre away from each other, showing great respect. But in the real heat of Robot Wars 7, should Mute get that far, the 7th UK Championship, Mute will have to go in for the kill, or Rhubarb will far more effectively. They'll have to learn from this New Blood affair. 2 seconds remaining before it goes to a judge's decision. Mute left in peril. Close. For me, Mute will have it. The judges will decide.
And while they're making up their decision, let's see the highlights once again. Mute, flipping Rhubarb. Good recovery from Rhubarb there. Magnificent recovery there. So good control for Rhubarb, good style, but it was aggression from Mute in the first place. Rhubarb back on the attack. Mute flip, Mute self-righting. Good style. Mute certainly more aggressive there. But ending up on the flame pit, this is a close one.
The judges have made their decision. You know the criteria: style, control, damage and aggression. It was a wicked fight, wasn't it?
It was a
wicked fight. Two brilliant new robots. We're very impressed. So were the judges, but they were more impressed with Mute! Guys, again, they kept getting underneath you.
Yeah.
And kind of try. I think their plan was get underneath you, feed you
to the
house robots and the CPZ, you know.
Killed us.
We weren't going out the arena though, so we proved that by flipping back off the wall.
I know, but they nearly had you out.
They nearly had us out.
A great self-righter, a great flipper.
Yeah, stayed on our wheels most of the time.
When it stays straight.
Yeah. I tell you, I mean, the judges were looking at the damage as well. You know, you got a bit of damage on that flipper. It's a bit kinky now, isn't it? You know.
We're pleased to go out to a decent robot.
Yeah.
Good,
A great robot.
You're not pleased.
Well, you told me before that you were going to have everybody.
Have it.
Come on.
I did. I want have it. Everybody.
That's what Robot Wars is all about. Come on, bring it. We'll bring it next year.
Yeah, you'll be veterans next year. Have you enjoyed it? You're glad you got involved?
Yeah, fantastic.
Hey, it's a bug, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's addictive, isn't it?
It is.
Let's hear it. What a robot, Rhubarb! Wicked. Was I right with that plan? You're trying to get under them and just like feed them to the lions, as it were?
Well, we lost the front flipper, low gas pressure.
That's what I was thinking, because when you were getting them on your back, you weren't sort of flipping them off anymore.
That's it. We've got barbs on there, so once they get on there, they can't get off. But we lost the flipper anyway, so one flip off them and we couldn't sell for it.
So that's it. That's what I was thinking. If they flip you over, you've got to be out of the game.
It's a merry dance. That's why we were dancing.
Yeah. You won the heat final.
We did it.
You're into a final now. Yeah. Any adaptations now to make it better for?
Just charge those lucky batteries.
That's the lad. Okay, come on, let's give it up for Mute! If you think these new robots are not as good as yours, put your money where your mouth is on Robot Wars. Bye-bye. Well done.
I like the bit when the cooker fell nearly onto the robot. Well, I like the bit when it was head-to-head with Sergeant Bash and Rep.
We love Robot Wars!
Coming next on Robot Wars, the second heat of the New Blood Championship. Thor's Hammer, yeah, but we got Mr. Psychos and plenty more besides.